Hey everybody, this is Dusk for Dustin on Gaming with our fifth and final match in episode 1 with Arclight. Izzet Arclight Phoenix, Ross Merriam's latest list. Had some really back and forth games so far. Played Merfolk twice, played against 4 Color Control and Burn. So here we hop into match number 5. Notable things from this list: this Flooded Grove is probably supposed to be a Flooded Strand. Um, I know it kind of goes against the whole Pyromancer's Ascension, like trying to sidestep Graveyard Heat. But I do wonder if another Snapcaster Mage wouldn't be good in some of these kind of grindy attrition-based matchups. Guess we keep us in. Another burn deck. Nope, Dredge. Alright. Would love to find a Faithless Looting next turn. Or just a land, period. Electro Dominance. Am I gonna get Living Ended on turn 2? I have a feeling I'm about to get Living Ended on turn 2. Probably takes Manamorphose. Lightning Axe. Okay. Maximum punishment. Yeah, at least I got a land, right? Definitely don't want the third Arclight at the bottom of our deck, but at the same time, looking for one of Izzet Charm here. Yep, and here comes Living End. Living End of all decks. Pass here and kill Whirlwinder. I do a one mana Electro Dominance. Nope, just regular Bolt. Alright. So, Electro Dominance, huh? Jeff Hoogland. See what kind of list this was running. So, Dragonlord Kolagon, Electro Dominance, Horror of the Broken Lands, Kari's of Expertise. Leyline of the Void's probably coming in. Duress, Fatal Push. Alright, so we definitely want Surgicals. Spell Pierce is like our only piece of interaction. Dispel doesn't do anything. Cards we're not interested in. Gutshot's not good in this matchup. And Flame Slash is okay, but not fantastic. And then... Yeah, they're bringing in Leyline. No sense in doing that. And... Cut... I don't know. Let's go with 61 cards. Yeah, keep this in. Got a Surgical Extraction. Not unexpected. Keep double Surgical here. Sure. See what all our opponent's working with here. Electro Dominance, Horror, Lightning Bolt, Mausoleum Secrets. Let's see, Carabids, Leylines of the Void, Atarkas. Definitely an interesting deck. So, Horror of the Broken Lands, I could nab if I nail might do that. And then do Horror of the Broken Lands, Surgical Extraction. So they need to draw a land next turn. I don't. At least they would specifically need to draw Living End to kind of punish us here. After Dominance, Lightning Bolt, Mausoleum Secrets. Let's go ahead and do this. We have some idea of what we're working against. Okay, take a Lightning Bolt if you wish. Bolt you. Bolt you. Flip thing. Put you to 1. And you specifically have to draw a Living End. And you did not. Alright. Okie dokie. Karaoke. Opponent with Layla and the Void, so let's get these Ascensions out of our deck. Beyond that, just have a bunch of sorcery stuff in their deck, along with Lightning Bolts and a Mausoleum Secrets, so like 5 copies of every card they care about. Only 1 Swamp, so I guess we could try to punk them with Blood Moon, but that does feel a little naive. Young Pyro doesn't seem especially likely to kill them, but sure. No, turn 0 Leyline. Lucky for us. Fortunately, it does look like they have the turn 1. No, turn 1 Faithless Looting. Sure. Odd timing. Alright, let's hope we have the turn to set up. And we very easily could basically die next turn if they have Electro Dominance here. Okay. Yep. So is there any scenario we can set up a kill over the next 2 turns? Bottom both. Hope to hit a Faithless Losing into a couple of birds. I mean, we'll do our best, but it doesn't seem likely that we're going to be able to kill our opponent here. Yeah, that ley line probably shuts down our last out here. Alright, that felt like a very real deck and felt very, felt kind of rough, not gonna lie. Hmm. Thoughts overall on the deck? So obviously we played some weird, play against some weird matches there, with Burn, Double Merfolk, and so many others. Feels like our counterspells are almost too conditional. I don't know. Feels like we actually want like some negates or stubborn denials or something to that can actually be factual counterspells in some spots. It just felt like really. I mean, granted, the matches we were playing aren't usual, but limiting dominance could certainly be a thing. The deck seemed very impressive and very powerful in its early stages of testing for some people. But I don't know. Feels like maybe there were some play lines I missed, like against the Merfolk deck or against the Dominance deck. Like maybe I'm supposed to aggressively mulligan towards surgical extractions and such. But it just feels like this deck's vulnerable to a lot of like little things because it's not playing actual counter spells. Like if we were playing like a Blue Moon variant or something like that, that matchup would almost have been a joke. I don't know. Like graveyard decks are kind of rough for Arclight in general. Dredge is a close matchup. A lot of other things going on. But obviously the deck's very powerful. It's very strong, very consistent what it does. But sometimes your opponent's just gonna like we could easily have been 3-1 if our opponent didn't have a Chalice of the Void in the second Merfolk matchup. So it's not like we were performing poorly. It's just like the Electro Dominance matchup just feels terrible. Unless we have like a Spell Pierce or a particular piece of interaction on a key turn, either a Surgical Extraction or one of Spell Pierce or one of Izzet Charm. Merfolk, that second match could have gone either way. Them having the Chalice there and a Merfolk Trickster, they had to have very specific cards both in Game 1 and Game 3 to take that particular match. But our opponent definitely played well. They played patiently. Feels like, though, if we want to go some of the semi-controlling tempo route, that we might want a second copy of Snapcaster in some of these matchups. I know that's kind of counterintuitive when people are bringing in relics and such against us. I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like we want another elements to be able to be a more controlling deck in some of the post-board games. When things slow down, get grindy, a little more interactive. They're bringing in Dismembers against our Thing in the Ices. They're bringing in, Graveyard Hate and such. It feels like we need, like, one more piece to be able to counter-race them. But I'm not sure what that piece would be. And as far as Electro Dominance, we would need actual, like, kind of counter spells. I mean, Dispel's fine, Ceremonious Rejection's fine, Spell Pierce is fine, but it feels like we want, like, a Negate or something along those lines in some of these matchups, even Disdainful Strokes. Now that KCI really isn't in the format, is Ceremonious Rejection really the counter spell we want? Or do we want to switch up to, like, Disdainful Strokes and Negates? I mean, there's a lot of, like, this deck sees a lot of cards, does a lot of things. I'm just wondering what the right combination of cards was. Felt nice to beat Burn. Certainly could have beaten Merfolk the second time. Losses to Electro Dominance just felt like a terrible matchup. And the control matchup, our opponent was just able to outgrind us to a certain degree, because I boarded out the second Pyromancer's Ascension Game 2, or Game 3, because we saw Leyline in the Void. So we're seeing an awful lot of Graveyard Heat. Obviously, it shuts down some parts of the deck, not all of it. So, anyways, this has been enough of a long-winded wrap-up segment. Deck's still pretty sweet. Could have easily been 3-2, finished up 2-3. This has been Dusk for Dustin on Gaming. Hope everyone has a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.